Sabrina Leigh Long worked as a second shift employee at Bibb Manufacturing Company in Bibb County, Georgia, and was wearing a dark blue flower print dress and a gold necklace. Her duties included placing labels on sheet packages. She resided at her former stepfather's residence on Ashland Drive in the Bloomfield area of Macon, Georgia. Macon is a large city in the middle of Georgia that is a highway hub. He and her mother had divorced shortly before this. Long's mother said that she was attempting tough love with her daughter in 1991. Her mother said that Long treated her home as if she owned the property while they lived together. Long's mother suggested that her daughter find her own residence after she and her stepfather divorced. Long's relationship with her mother improved after they went their separate ways. Long completed her shift at the factory at 11 p.m. on August 13, 1991. She drove her boyfriend's Chevrolet Camaro back to the house shortly thereafter. Long's truck had not been operating properly and she drove his vehicle to work. Her boyfriend saw her back to her stepfather's house, then departed shortly afterwards. Authorities believe that Long watched the Arsenio Hall show on television and wrote a three-page note to her boyfriend around 12 midnight on August the 14th. She apologized for an argument that occurred and promised to cook him lasagna dinner the following evening. Long phoned her mother between 12:30 a.m. and 1:30 a.m. She said she was going to visit Keith Daniel Lloyd, a 21-year-old neighbor who had attended her high school, to help him with a gift for his mother. She thought Lloyd's request was odd and asked her mother to call her within half an hour if she didn't call her mother first. Long's mother said that she would be asleep by that time and suggested they speak later in the morning. Long's mother reported that her daughter sounded annoyed but gave no indication that anything was amiss. She has never been seen or heard from again. Long's stepfather returned home at approximately 3 a.m. after visiting friends in the Warner Robins area. He said that the lights were on inside the house and that Long's truck was parked in the driveway, but there was no sign of her. Her stepfather discovered that Long's work clothes were lying on the bedroom floor and her purse, makeup, and money were also in her bedroom. Because she occasionally stayed overnight at her boyfriend's residence, her stepfather was not initially concerned. Long often stayed out of touch with her loved ones for a day or two as the result of her work and her social schedule. Long's boyfriend arrived at the stepfather's home during the morning hours of August the 15th and asked where she was. She hadn't reported to work since the night before her night of her disappearance and hadn't retrieved her last paycheck. Long's mother told reporters that it was uncharacteristic of her daughter to leave makeup behind for an extended period of time. Lloyd said that, contrary to what Long claimed, she never had plans to visit his house during the early morning hours of August the 14th and had never purchased a gift for his mother. None of the neighbors on Ashland Drive heard any unusual noises during the evening hours, with the exception of a few thumps and a door slamming at approximately 1 a.m. The neighbor and Long's boyfriend and stepfather all had alibis for the time during her disappearance, and none of the men have been considered suspects in her case. Authorities believe that they never spoke to the person or persons responsible for the presumed abduction. Long's mother said that her daughter received numerous disturbing phone calls prior to her disappearance. Long scheduled an interview with a local company during the summer of 1991 and was excited about the possibility of working there. But when she called the company to confirm the time of her interview, she learned that there had been no such interview scheduled. It isn't clear if these events were connected to her case. An anonymous woman called Long's stepfather residence in 1992 claimed she was Long, asked for help, then terminated the message. Long's mother reviewed the answering machine tape and concluded that the individual was not her daughter. Long was declared legally deceased in 1999. Investigators believe foul play was involved in her case, but her case remains unsolved and her remains have never been discovered. In 2011, her family set up a Facebook page for Sabrina, but no leads have been generated. Lloyd, the neighbor Long planned to visit on the night of her disappearance, said he'd been out with his girlfriend that night. He also passed multiple polygraph tests, and although he was questioned multiple times over the years about Long's disappearance, he wasn't considered a suspect. This all changed when he died by suicide in September 2017, on the day he was scheduled to be interviewed by the police again. He was 46 years old, and he left a suicide note indicating that he was involved in Long's disappearance and also implicated Melinda McSwain, said she was Long's age in 1991 and they attended high school together, although McSwain was a year behind Long. In October 2018, McSwain was charged with kidnapping with bodily injury in connection with Long's case. After she was arrested, Long's family said they didn't recognize her name. She gave multiple statements to the police saying she was involved in Long's kidnapping and murder. In January 2019, she was additionally charged with malice murder and felony murder in Long's case. Apparently, McSwain told numerous people that she had a role in Long's disappearance, but she told different stories about it, at one point claiming a known criminal believed Long was an informant and that's why she was killed. In August 2021, after nearly 3 years in custody, McSwain was released from bail on a $100,000 bond pending her trial. She will be on home confinement until then. The judge who granted her application for bail noted the case against her was very weak and said he didn't think it was triable without further evidence. Long was born in Memphis, Tennessee, but she grew up in Macomb. She is a 1990 graduate of Southwest High School, and she was interested in English in 1991 and considered becoming a teacher in the future. Her parents had her legally declared dead in 1999. The Bureau said the investigation is very active and ongoing, and additional investigative acts are continuing. Sabrina Leigh Long, a white female, was born on October the 7th, 1971, and was 19 years of age when she went missing. She is 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighed approximately 130 pounds. She has dark brown hair and blue eyes with pierced ears. She has not been seen or heard from since, and her remains have not been located. Anyone with information pertinent to the investigation should call the Georgia Bureau of Investigation Perry office at 478-987-4545 or the GBI tips line at 1-800-597-8477. And if you have any information concerning Long's whereabouts, please contact the Georgia Bureau of Investigation at 800-597-TIPS. That's 800-597-8477. You may remain anonymous when submitting information to any agency.